Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host, Steve Hamoan, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed and make well-informed decisions. This podcast is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their home ownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how their experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're taking a closer look at a recent survey from Royal LePage, which reveals that 57% of Canadians renewing their mortgage this year expect their monthly payments to increase. This is a significant issue, as there are 1.2 million mortgages up for renewal in 2025. According to Phil Soper, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Royal LePage, while many Canadians have managed to avoid the worst-case scenario of selling their homes due to strong employment trends and declining interest rates, some will still face a considerable rise in their mortgage costs. This increase is likely to put additional pressure on household finances. To combat this, many Canadians are considering extending their amortization period to lower their monthly payments, a tactic that has gained popularity. It's important to note that the vast majority, 85% of these mortgages, were initially secured when the Bank of Canada's prime lending rate was below 1%, making the impending increase in payments a potential financial burden. Of those expecting their payments to rise, 81% say the increase will strain their finances, with 47% anticipating a slight strain and 34% expecting a significant one. In response, approximately 60% plan to reduce or eliminate discretionary spending, such as travel or dining out, to manage the higher costs. Additionally, 43% are considering cutting back on travel, while 36% may reduce savings or investments. A notable 34% might even reduce spending on essentials like gas and groceries. To offset the financial impact, 23% are thinking about obtaining a second job or finding another source of income. Interestingly, despite the financial challenges, 62% of respondents say they will not change their living arrangements to avoid higher mortgage costs. However, 11% are considering relocating to more affordable regions, 10% are thinking about downsizing, and another 10% are contemplating renting out a portion of their home to subsidize expenses. When it comes to choosing a mortgage type upon renewal, Canadians are divided. 66% plan to secure a fixed-rate loan, a decrease from the three-quarters who currently hold fixed-rate mortgages. Meanwhile, 29% are opting for variable-rate loans. Notably, a fifth of those with fixed-rate mortgages are considering switching to variable-rate loans, and 61% of current variable-rate mortgage holders intend to stay with variable rates. The choice of mortgage term is also varied, with over one-third planning to renew for a 5-year term and nearly a fifth considering a 3-year term. This survey, conducted by Hill Knowlton using the Ledger Opinion online panel, gathered responses from 1,340 Canadians who are renewing their mortgage this year. Participants were aged 18 and above, ensuring a representative sampling across all provinces. As we continue to monitor these trends, it's crucial for Canadians to stay informed and consider their options carefully when facing mortgage renewals. Now let's shift our focus to a recent report from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, or CMHC, that sheds light on the ongoing housing affordability crisis in Canada. According to this report, the crisis may persist until the year 2055 due to the lengthy planning and approval processes involved in housing development. This is a significant finding, as the time it takes to obtain municipal permits and complete planning is reported to be twice as long as the actual construction of apartment buildings and townhouse developments. The CMHC's Housing Observer commentary highlights that while Canada has the capacity to build more housing than it currently does, the real issue lies in how long it takes for these units to become available to low- and middle-income households. The research estimates that from the initial planning phase to the full impact on housing affordability, the process can take up to 30 years. This timeline is concerning for Canadians seeking more affordable housing options now. Mathieu Laberge, the chief economist at CMHC, emphasized that major delays occur even before construction begins. Housing construction starts with design and development, a phase that can take 3 to 5 years, depending on the project. This includes drafting plans, completing necessary studies, and securing municipal approvals. Once approvals are obtained, construction itself takes 1 to 2 years for multi-unit housing. In total, it takes an average of 7 to 8 years to deliver a new multi-unit housing structure in Canada. However, the impact on housing affordability is not immediate. It can take up to 20 years for new market supply to significantly lower prices or rents. From project inception to the full effect on affordability, it takes 25 to 30 years. LaBerge noted that this timeline is simply too long for Canadians in need of attainable housing. Despite federal targets to restore affordability by 2031 through the construction of 3.9 million new homes, CMHC's latest housing market outlook indicates that this goal is unattainable. The report forecasts a slowdown in housing starts, which numbered 227,697 last year. Canada has never exceeded 273,200 housing starts in a single year, a record set in 1976. To meet the government's affordability target, Canada would need at least 650,000 housing starts annually, a number that is currently impossible to achieve according to CMHC. As we navigate these challenges, it's crucial for policymakers and stakeholders in the housing industry to find ways to streamline the planning and approval processes. This would help expedite the availability of housing units and address the affordability crisis more effectively. We'll continue to monitor developments in this area to keep you informed.